Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Cynthia, and today's video I'm sharing with you what I'll be bringing with me. As I'm moving, I've kind of packed up all of my journaling supplies except this little lunchbox of Where's Waldo. And I just wanted to create for myself sort of like a time capsule, but for obviously my journaling items that I want to have with me for about a month that I won't be able to have access to all of my other supplies. So this is a lunchbox that I acquired like a little while ago, and I just thought it was perfect for what I needed it with. And then you saw I just had a few extra printables that I'll be bringing with me, but those didn't fit in here. So as I'm opening this box, in here you can see that I have some of my ultimate items that I need for journaling. So I'm bringing my glue stick. I won't be bringing wet glue because I don't want to risk having it spill while I'm on the plane. And I have my little tool to distress. I am going to be putting a new applicator on there, and this is just vintage photo. And so I'm bringing that. And then after that, I also have a little stapler that I'm bringing with me. I do have some extra staples that I have with there, and my little owl, some brad clips. I really love using brad clips, so I wanted to use that. And then I have a little tool here to stamp my date. I have some double-sided tape. And then I have this little pencil case in which I put just a few pens to be able to journal with. I have a few washies, so they're pretty neutral. They go with the journal that I'm bringing with me. And I also have these sample washies that Brianna had sent me in a happy mail. And so you can see here I have some extra staples. And then a few paper clips in case I need them, some little ribbons. That is unraveling on me. It's unraveling because I used the paper clip or the safety pin that was on there before. And then here you can see I have a couple of pens, and I have this really pretty one that came in the mail from Kylie. From Paper Daisy Journal. So I decided to use her journal as the journal that I was going to be using for kind of recording my entire move and just all the new emotions that are going to be brought on by that. And then of course I have a bone folder. So I'm just going to put the journal to the side and show you the other things that I'm bringing before, and we'll end with the journal. So in here, I also have a little wax seal that I wanted to bring, and I have some random scraps of vintage fabrics and trims, and I have some little scissors. I am also going to be bringing my regular size scissors because the little ones are great, but they're not going to be perfect for everything. So yeah, I'm bringing those, and I'm also actually bringing items to fussy cut because I know that I'm gonna have some free time on my hands, and that will be a great way to use those. And here you can see the trims that I selected. And then of course, this little notepad, or I'm not sure what you would call that. It's like a mini journal, but it's all regular paper in there, or well, there's different types of papers, but they're all just blank pages. So many years ago I really liked to sketch, and I kind of want to get back into it, and I'm not an expert, I'm not good by any means, but I really enjoy doing it, so I really want to play around with it. And I thought that would be a really wonderful way to use this little notepad. This was in this came to me with the journal that I'll be using, so Kylie made this. And here's the beautiful journal. I have been waiting so impatiently to use this journal. I absolutely love it. As you can see, Kylie creates really beautiful journals, and of course I'll have her listed down below. She is amazing. If you can get your hands on one of her journals, like, oh my goodness, it's just so beautiful. And the thought that she puts behind everything, and it's really, I mean, it's a piece of art. So just around here, she has this beautiful little heart. And I don't know, like it's so sweet. Like it just makes me smile. I see it now and I have a smile on my face. So here I have a little card. This is probably where I'm gonna write my intentions for this journal and kind of introduce myself to the journal. And it just slides into this pretty pocket at the front. And then through the journal, I've added some elements to journal with, like this little blue chip like ticket or stamp carding thing. I added that in there, and I'll show you what I did with this in a little bit, but I'll just do a quick flip through of the journal. I know, like, she has a ton of like different textiles in there and some prints from her shop and a lot of like vintage papers. And it's just like so beautiful. I'm really excited. It's different than the kind of journals that I create for myself, so I'm really excited to kind of dabble with that and play around with it and see kind of how our two styles merge together. And here's just some bigger elements that couldn't fit in the section where I put all the ephemera that I'm bringing with me. I'm just showing you some of the details that she included in this journal. And here you have quite a few tags and journaling cards that I wanted to bring with me. So I just tucked them between two signatures. I find there's often some room to add like a bulkier item right there. So that seemed like a good spot to put those there. And then at the back here, I have a journaling card that came with the journal. And I have some of the elements that she had for me in like a little ephemera folder that she created. But I've altered this to fit all of the ephemera that I want to add. And here I have a little tag. This is so sweet. Like the little flowers on here, all the little details that she includes are just beautiful. But you'll see here, it's almost like two samples of just a ton of items that I can use in the journal, and I'm so excited. So these came in that little folder that I just pulled, and you can essentially just like snip the little hand stitch that she did at the top and just use each of those like little fabric scraps and pieces of wallpapers and like really pretty pattern paper, and I'm really excited if you can't tell already. So that's the journal. And then this was, like I said, a little folder that she had those bits of ephemera for me, but as I plan on being like a full month, probably with nothing else than this, I wanted to bring myself some good options to journal with. And so I altered this little folder that she created, and so I added some pockets and some like an envelope to just place some ephemera that I wanted to bring. So there's a lot of ephemera from recent mail that I got. A few of these items are from Sarah from Crafty Paper Bits, and we exchanged letters. I enjoy exchanging letters with her so much. I don't get to speak French as much as I wish, so it's really nice to have a pen pal with whom I can speak in French with. And so you can see here the kind of ephemera that I'm bringing with me. Essentially, like, there's some vintage pieces, of course. I love to work with illustrations, and I haven't been a lot lately because I'm trying to use some of the scraps that I have laying around and just kind of wrapping things up in my current space. So I'm so excited to get back to what I really love to do and use more illustrations to kind of mirror the feelings that I have while I'm journaling. That's often my favorite way to journal. And so here I have a little tuck spot, and I have some more illustrations in here. I brought quite a lot. I don't know. I wanted to make sure that I had illustrations that could mirror like all of the emotions that I could potentially be feeling. So that's why I gave myself like a lot of options. I didn't want to feel limited while still making it very, like, I think I made it pretty compact for the reason that I was doing this. So here you can see some of these elements that I have pulled for myself. And it was actually really fun to record this because I put this together about maybe a month before recording this video. So I was kind of rediscovering everything I had put together, and I got really excited, and I was like, oh, like, I can't wait to journal. So that's a really fun kind of way to look at this, right? You could do this for, I'm thinking of doing it for like Christmas time, or just like another season, just so that I'm able to kind of rediscover some of my elements that I have that are like really catered to a specific time during the year. And kind of when you forget, like, you can do this with clothing. It's like capsule wardrobe, right? And you forget about the items and you rediscover them. So it's really like shopping your own stash and feeling excited about the things that you already have, but you haven't seen them in a while, so it feels like they're new. So it's kind of it's this idea that I've had. So hopefully this makes sense to some of you. And I also have some vintage cards in there. And then finally, when you flip the folder back, well, I'm just gonna do this after, like, oh no. And then I have some of the bigger pieces of ephemera that I have. I have some vintage wallpapers as well that I wanted to bring with me, and just some items from Happy Mails that wouldn't have fit in the smaller compartments. But that's essentially everything that I'm bringing. Other than that, I don't think I forgot anything in there, but perhaps like some of the scraps that I don't end up using before we go, I may be able to throw those in my suitcase as well, but that's everything. So if you're going on a trip, or you want to give a try just at doing kind of like a capsule journaling, I invite you to do that. And perhaps this gave you a little bit of an insight on my essentials, and maybe your essentials are completely different, but I just thought I would share with all of you what I will be journaling with for the next month. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will talk to you in my next one. Bye now.